There's a mental force that separates those who truly win from those who merely know how to win. And today you'll discover why mastering techniques is nothing compared to mastering your own mind. Have you ever been in this situation? You study, you train, you learn all the techniques in your field. You know exactly what to do. But when the moment of truth arrives, the important presentation, the decisive moment, the real confrontation, you freeze. Your mind panics, your hands sweat, and everything you knew simply vanishes. In feudal Japan, there was a concept that separated ordinary samurai from legendary ones. It wasn't about mastering the sword, it was about mastering something far more dangerous, one's own mind under extreme pressure. They called it Fudōshin, an unwavering spirit, a mind that doesn't waver. And when you understand how that works, you'll never again break down in a critical moment in your life. But there's a warning. This knowledge won't make you stronger. It will make you different. It will transform you into someone people look at and think, how do you manage to stay calm in that situation? Before I show you how all this works, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, leave a like below and comment, what situation most often causes you to lose emotional control? Dealing with problems at work, relationships, family? Answer below. Now, let's go to the video. Chapter 1. The Samurai Who Knew Everything But Always Lost. The story I'm about to tell you took place in feudal Japan, at a samurai school known for its brutal discipline. Among the apprentices was a young man named Satoshi. Satoshi was obsessed. He woke up before everyone else. He trained more hours than anyone else. He knew every movement, every sword technique. His strikes were precise, his posture perfect, his form impeccable. But there was a devastating problem. In combat training, the duels with wooden swords where samurai tested their skills under pressure, Satoshi lost, repeatedly, to people who knew fewer techniques than he did. Sometimes he lost to beginners who barely mastered the basic movements. And you know what was worse? He already imagined he was going to lose even before the duel began. When the instructor announced his opponent, Satoshi's heart raced. His hands began to sweat. His mind raced. What if I mess up? What if everyone sees that I'm not as good as they think? What if I get hurt? The moment their swords clashed, Satoshi wasn't fighting his opponent. He was fighting his own fear. His movements became stiff, hesitant. The perfect technique he had mastered in solitary training simply evaporated. After each defeat, Satoshi did the same thing. He would return to the empty mat and train more. I need to learn more techniques, he thought. I need to get stronger. I need to train harder. But the more he trained, the more he lost. And maybe may you be like Satoshi. Perhaps you've mastered all the techniques of your profession, or you know all the concepts of the field you want to work in. Perhaps you have all the necessary knowledge. But when the time comes to present that project, to make that sale, to have that difficult conversation, you freeze, you break down, and then you think, I need to study more. I need to prepare better. But the problem was never a lack of preparation. The problem is where your mind goes when the pressure mounts. Chapter 2. The question that changes everything. After his 10th consecutive defeat, something inside Satoshi broke. It wasn't his discipline. It was the illusion that more training would solve the problem. He went to the schoolmaster, a man named Tatsu, and the name means Dragon Man. Tatsuo was known for two things: his unparalleled skill with the sword and his unsettling calmness in any situation. Satoshi knelt before him. Master, I train more than anyone. I know the techniques, but when I fight for real, I lose. What am I doing wrong? Tatsuo remained silent for a long time. Then he said, You are a master of the sword, but the sword doesn't fight on its own. Have you ever wondered who is holding your sword when you go into combat? Satoshi looked confused. Me, master. No, Tatsuo replied. Your fear is holding your sword, your anger, your need to prove something. All those emotions are fighting in your place, and they always lose. Then Tatsuo explained something that would change Satoshi forever. There is a mental state that we call Fudōshin, the unmoving spirit. No matter what happens around it, the enemy's attack, the fear of death, the pressure of battle, its mind remains like a mountain, immobile, unshakable. But Master, Satoshi asked, how can anyone not feel fear in the face of death? Tatsuo smiled. You think I don't feel fear? I do. The difference is that my fear doesn't control my sword. I observe the fear, I acknowledge its presence, but I don't obey its orders. Returning to the present day, here's what most people don't understand about emotional control. It's not about not feeling fear, but about not obeying the stimuli of fear. Your brain will send you panic signals. It will tell you that you're not ready, that things will go wrong, that everyone will judge you. That's biology. You can't turn it off. But you can learn not to obey. Chapter 3. Training the Still Mind. Tatsuo took Satoshi to a different place, not the training dojo, a small Zen garden behind the temple. Sit down, he ordered. Satoshi sat in a meditative position, awaiting some complex instruction, some secret teaching. Breathe, Tatsuo said, and observe your thoughts as if you were watching clouds drifting across the sky. Don't fight them, don't cling to them. Just observe. Satoshi tried. His mind was a mess. Thoughts about the duels he lost, about what others thought of him, about techniques he needed to improve. Your mind is as turbulent as water in a storm, Tatsuo said. Rumbled water reflects nothing. It only distorts. To see clearly, the water needs to be still. For weeks, Satoshi practiced. Every day before dawn, he would sit and observe his own mind. At first, it was impossible. Every thought sucked him in. Every emotion overwhelmed him. But slowly, something changed. He began to perceive a space, a small interval, between the moment a thought arose and the moment he reacted to it. In that space, there was a choice. This space, Tatsuo explained, is where Fudōshin lives. In this space, you are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the observer. And the observer is never shaken by what he observes. Returning to the present day, this is something you need to understand about your own mind. When you're nervous before a presentation, you are not the nervousness. You are the one who is noticing the nervousness. When you're angry in an argument, you are not the anger. You are the one who is observing the anger arise. This distinction changes everything, because the moment you realize you can observe your emotions without being controlled by them, you gain a superpower that most people never develop. You become unshakable. A neuroscientist at Stanford University, who has been studying emotional control for 18 years, discovered that when you train metacognitive observation, the ability to observe your own thoughts, you activate the prefrontal cortex and decrease the activity of the amygdala, the region responsible for fear responses. So you are reconfiguring the neural circuits that control your emotional reactions. Chapter 4. The First Real Test. After 3 months of mental training, Tatsuo announced, "Tomorrow you will duel again." The old panic tried to return. Satoshi's heart raced. But this time, he did something different. He didn't fight the panic. He observed. "Ah, here you are again," he thought, looking at the fear as if it were an old acquaintance. "You always show up before the duels. Fine, you can stay there. But you won't be holding my sword this time." On the day of the duel, as he walked toward the center of the dojo, Satoshi felt everything he always felt. Sweaty palms, a racing heart, thoughts of doubt. But something fundamental had changed. He wasn't trying to make those feelings disappear. He let them exist, but he didn't obey their orders. The wooden swords clashed. His opponent attacked forcefully. Satoshi's body reacted, not with panic, but with pure technique. The movements he had practiced 1,000 times simply flowed, without hesitation, without rigidity, without fear controlling his hands. He won. But victory wasn't the most important thing. The most important thing was what Satoshi felt during the fight. Nothing. His mind was like a mirror of still water, reflecting everything, but unshaken by anything. This is Fudōshin in action. It's not about not feeling. It's about not being controlled by what you feel. How many opportunities have you missed because you let nervousness control your actions? How many times have you known exactly what to do but froze at the critical moment? The problem was never your ability. It was your belief that you needed to feel confident before acting. But the truth is you act despite the fear. And every time you do, the fear loses a little more power over you. But here's something Tatsuo never told Satoshi until much later. Fudōshin isn't just for combat. It's for something far more dangerous: ordinary life. The small, daily fears that gnaw at your mind without you realizing it. Chapter 5. The True Duel. Years later, Satoshi became a fully fledged samurai. He had won countless duels. His reputation grew, but something still bothered him. He went back to see Tatsuo. "Master, I learned to maintain my composure in combat, but in daily life, when someone disrespects me, when things don't go as planned, when I feel frustrated, I lose that composure." "Why?" Tatsuo laughed. "Because you think the real enemy is standing in front of you with a sword, but the real enemy has always been your reaction to small things. Anyone can be brave in the face of death. Few can remain unshaken in the face of an insult." "A mind that doesn't move," Tatsuo continued, "isn't just for dramatic moments, it's for every moment. When someone criticizes you, when you fail, when life doesn't go as you expected. If you get shaken by these small things, you never had Fudōshin. You only had temporary control. This is the brutal truth that most people never accept. You think you only need mental calm during the big moments, but it's the little things, the traffic, someone's comment, that annoying notification, that slowly destroy your peace of mind every single day. Fudōshin isn't a technique you use occasionally, it's who you become all the time. Satoshi spent the rest of his life refining this practice, until one day people began to say about him, "Nothing shakes him. Whether on the battlefield or in the most casual conversation, he remains the same." He was no longer a samurai fighting his fears. He was someone who observed his fears without being controlled by them. The question that remains for you is, how many battles are you losing not because you don't know what to do, but because your mind is controlling your actions? You have the knowledge, you have the techniques, but without Fudōshin, without that unwavering mind, you will always freeze at the moment that matters most. The good news? Fudōshin isn't a talent or a gift. Fudōshin can be trained. Every day you can practice observing your thoughts without letting them control you. Every day you can act despite fear. And every day fear loses a little more power over you. So how is Fudōshin achieved? Daily practice, consistent practice even on quiet days, helps build the resilience needed for a healthy mental state. Breathing techniques. Controlling your breathing is an important technique for dissipating negative feelings and achieving the tranquility necessary for Fudōshin. Focus on the present moment. Maintaining a natural and focused mindset is crucial for handling the situation with more control. The difference between those who win and those who merely know how to win isn't in the techniques, it's in the mindset. Build a still mind and watch how the world around you stops shaking you. If this video helped you better understand mental and emotional control, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss future content. And tell me in the comments, in what situation in your life do you most need to develop Fudōshin? I also invite you to watch the video that's appearing on your screen. I'm sure you can learn something valuable from it. Remember, an unwavering mind isn't about not feeling. It's about not obeying what you feel when it doesn't serve you. If you've watched this far, thank you very much for your attention. Until the next video.